I was dating George. We met at a dog park. He had a dog, and I had a dog. And that's how we hit it off. We exchanged information, and eventually when we became friends, his dog passed away. And then shortly after that, my dog ended up passing away as well. So, I mean, quite naturally, we became even closer, and we eventually formed a relationship. And we purchased a dog together. And
so you guys decided, let's get another dog.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
What kind of dog did you get?
We got a boxer. We ended up moving in together, and we got a boxer. We got her registered together, and we purchased her together.
Do you have proof of that registration?
I absolutely do.
May I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am. Is it okay if I just hand the entire folder to you? Okay.
That's just fine. I'll take all of that evidence. Thank you so much. So, Mr. Demoni, do you agree with that testimony thus far?
Yes,
You agreed to get a dog together?
Yes, we did.
All right, and you got Gia.
Yes.
Gia's a boxer. And I see here you registered, all right, to both of you, and you paid $3,500 for Gia. Okay, you all lived together and took care of the dog together?
Yes, ma'am. We both purchased the dog together. Like I said, we got her registered together. We lived together. I worked from home. I was an accountant, and he did not work from home. So I spent the majority of the time with Gia. I was with her all the time. She became family. We traveled with her together. We bought airline tickets for her. So she was
she's one of the dogs that ride on the plane and do all that. She was little enough she could go under the seat in front?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
That's when she was a little smaller.
Oh my gosh, that dog is so cute.
Gia was on the move. So, Mr. Demoni, you've got Gia. You're sharing the dog with Ms. Marin.
Yes.
She says the dog spent most of the time with her. I presume that's because you were working out of the home?
Yes.
All right, did you all share expenses for the dog as it relates to care and food as well, or was one person responsible for that?
No, we both shared everything equally.
So you shared rent, you shared expenses, and you shared all of the care for the dog?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Marin, what happens? You say he sold the dog. You're suing him because the dog got sold. What happened?
Yes, so when I was working from home, I ended up, doing tax fraud for the company that I worked for, and I was incarcerated for 3 years as a result of that. And during my incarceration was when our dog, Gia, was sold. However, I didn't find out until I was released.
Really?
Yes.
So, Mr. Demoni, how is it that you sold Gia? I mean, Ms. Marin had made a mistake. Most certainly, she was serving time, paying her debt to society. In just 3 years, you decided to sell Gia?
Yes, I did.
What happened?
Well, during her time in there, like she said, I did visit her, at least once a month. Wrote her emails and everything. And during that time, she forgot to mention that she fell in love with her cellmate.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So...
Oh, things just got totally orange as the new black up in this. I mean, I don't blame her. It gets very lonely in prison.
Why'd you sell the dog, even with that?
Because she told me this 2 years into her serving her time. So I found out that she fell in love with her like the first year she was in there. Even though I was visiting her all this time, writing her, she did not mention this to me. I was hurt. I was devastated. I just couldn't bear to even look at Gia anymore because Gia reminded me of Elena, what me and Elena had.
So you're going to visit her when she finally does come clean, because at some point, Ms. Marin, you just decide, I need to tell him.
Absolutely.
And you did.
Absolutely.
You wrote him an email and you explained.
Yes, ma'am. And I also explained in the email, too, that I was sorry and that when I got out, I had intended for us to continue to share custody of Gia.
Okay, and so when you got that, you were so upset, you said every time you looked at Gia, it reminded you of Ms. Marin.
Yes.
I wouldn't have sold the dog, man. Don't bring the dog into this. If I found out that my spouse cheated on me while she was in prison, I would break up with her, leave her, and take the dog.
I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
And so at some point you were just like, I gotta sell this dog because it's like messing with my head? Or what was going on?
Well, I fell into a depression. Like this woman here, I wanted to spend my life with her. I even got an engagement ring. I wanted to marry her.
Because you're thinking this 3 years is, I mean, like I said, she made a bad mistake, but this 3 years is temporary.
Yes.
And when she comes out, I want to get married.
Exactly.
Okay, so you bought the engagement ring, everything. Why do you sell the dog? Because this ain't Gia's fault.
Absolutely.
I didn't know what to do, honestly. I couldn't give it away to a friend because honestly, I don't have many friends. So I thought selling her was the right thing to do, and you know, the expenses are spent on Gia. You know, I thought I can get some of that money back.
Ms. Marin, how were you covering your half of Gia's expenses while you were away?
So while I was away, he agreed that he would take care of Gia while I was incarcerated.
Okay,
And
but
while
did
I
that
was-
care include just the physical care, or did it also include the financial care? Did you agree to the financial care as well,
Yes.
Mr. Demoni?
Yes, I
So
did.
you said, don't worry about Gia, I got her. I'm gonna take care of her financially, and I'm gonna take care of her.
Yes.
How much you sell her for?
I sold her for half of what we paid for her for, so $17.50.
Were you trying to get back at Ms. Marin for developing another relationship?
No, not at all. Not at all. I couldn't do that. I mean, I'm not like that. I wouldn't do that to her.
You sold the dog.
Yeah, but
Exactly, dude. You're not like that. You sold the dang dog. You shouldn't have done that, man.
Oh my gosh, did you see him? He's probably still scratching his head. Yeah, which must be a nice vacation for his balls.
that was for me.
Why didn't
After
you
you
at least
agreed
write her
that you
back?
take care of it.
Why don't you write her back and at least go in there and say, hey, I think having Gia around, you've moved on, but I'm still kind of here stuck.
You know, he sold Gia for $17.50 to the couple. However, the Applegates also ended up taking Gia to the vet as well. And in the evidence I've given to you, it shows all the different veterinarian bills.
So when you got out, you tracked down the people who had bought Gia.
So when I got out, I contacted George, and he gave me their information.
And they basically said, oh, yeah, but they were willing to sell her back to you as long as you paid for the additional expenses they had incurred caring for her to that point. Okay, so I don't think she gave up her right to her dog. I also don't think she gave up her responsibility to care for the dog. Ms. Marin, you do understand that Mr. Demoni was only taking on all of these expenses because he loved you and he wanted to have a life with you.
Please, you know, Judge, I did not intend on falling for my cellmate. That was not the plan. I love George. I still love George. He's like family. We were friends.
You could have told me.
We were, and I told you, George. I told you. However, what you failed to do is you did not tell me. I found out when I got out, and that's the problem that I have with this judge. Is he could have, just like I let him know where my life was headed, he could have let me know that. You know, it was difficult for him to continue to pay for Gia. Number
Well,
one,
you
I
could've told me this in
completely
the
understand that because I was accountant and I know how much money I made and I know how much money I contributed and I know it was easier for the two of us. So I get that.
Okay, I understand exactly what's going on here. I don't need to hear anymore. At the end of the day, you all bought the dog together. The paperwork shows that. You all both testified to the fact that you shared expenses. Mr. Demoni, you know, the dog did remind you of her. And that's very painful to still be kind of stuck in a place where you're caring for everything and you're still almost in a relationship that doesn't exist anymore. That is painful for you.
I mean, I totally relate to this because I was in a very similar situation. I mean, my ex was not in prison, but she was traveling for work, and I found out that she cheated on me, and we had a dog together. But I still would never sell that dog. I just told her, I'm taking the dog, and I'm going to leave. Bye-bye. That's what you do, man. It's not the dog's fault.
So while I don't disagree that it was healthier for you to sell the dog, psychologically and financially, I do think you owed Ms. Marin the opportunity to at least have a say on where the dog went. With that said, you sold Gia for $1,750. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Half of which is $875. Whatever you sold her for, you should have at least sold it and then said, hey, I'm going to give you your half because you admitted, I agreed that I'm going to take care of these expenses, right?
Correct.
All right. Now, Ms. Marin, there were, in fact, expenses related to Gia.
Yes.
And since you knew that he basically was counting on you all being together and that's why he was caring for the dog, you could have at least said to him, I'm going to pay you for half of these expenses. If I can't do it now, when I get out, I will pay you. All right? So this is what's fair in this court's opinion. Judgment for the plaintiff for $875, which is the half of the cost of what he sold Gia for, and judgment for the defendant on his counterclaim for $750. $25, which is half of the expenses it costs to care for her. Now, Ms. Marin, the reason why you are not recovering is because your desire to go get the dog back, that is what you did on your own.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
understand why you did it, but at the same time, that is what you decided, and those are expenses that you need to care for. Judgment for the plaintiff for $875. Judgment for the defendant for $725 on his counterclaim. Good luck to you both. Court is adjourned.
Yeah, I would say I agree with that judgment. I think the judge is totally right on that because under the pretense that they were in love and they were going to be together when she got out, he accepted the responsibility of taking care of the dog financially and physically, but she kind of broke that quote-unquote contract when she cheated on him. But then he kind of went behind her back, even though she owned half of that dog. She paid for half of everything usually up to that point. He kind of betrayed that contract when he sold the dog without really talking to her first. What do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.
Dumbass.